This is the second time I'm getting a voicemail today. First one was Frank's, and he called me back, and it was such a great conversation. And I just wanted to share it with you because, oh, what a difference it made. I wish I could have recorded the conversation and, like, played it back to myself every day because it is so challenging to live a lifestyle as an entrepreneur, man. It's like every day there's ups and downs and you have to be mentally strong and like, fuck, like, what the hell? It's so challenging and other people don't get it and the very few get it. And as Frank said, if it was easy, every loser would do it. And like, fuck, we are so good at this, man. Like, we are so good. And I'm just so grateful that I have you to kind of live this life with and share this with. So I just want to say thank you. And I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Bye.
You know, look at what we're doing. You know what I mean? We're embracing life. You embraced life and walked away from ShopRite, and look what you created. You created a fucking movement. You know what I mean? I created a movement of people wanting to hang upside down in their houses, and their husbands always ask them, like, are you sure you should be doing that? Like, that's like the number one question now that my clients get from their husbands. It's like, are you sure that's safe? As they're already upside down. You know what I mean? It's like, it's cool. It's cool to change people's lives. It's cool to wake people up, to tell them, like, hey, this is something and you should think about it. You know what I mean? To get people thinking. Say if one person sees me on IG and they never come to my class, you know, it sparks their interest. Like, why are they doing that? Why are so many people doing that? Like, one of my clients today, she's 50. And one of the moves she did, she did a flip and then she flipped back into it. And then she did some core work and she was like, this is 50. And I looked at her and I was like, this is 50. Like, this is amazing. People 50 years old, they're like, oh, I feel aches and pains here and I don't want to do nothing. And her friends look at her like she's crazy because she does trapeze on a regular basis and she's always in hers every day. It healed her. She had, I forgot the name of the arthritis she had. She doesn't have the pain anymore. You know what I mean? So, like, for my bullshit back injury, it's healing other people. Yeah, it's crazy. But I have to share something, too. So I was in high school, and there was this bracelet, and no one else was in the school. It was like a Friday, and there was this bracelet on the ground, and it looked cool, and I was like, cool. Okay, I picked it up, and I took it home with me. And I didn't really look at it in detail, but I got home, it was a spine. And I was like, wow. Like, there was something to it.
In high school?
Yeah, in high school. It was a bracelet of a spine. The vertebrae. That's exactly what it was.
Damn.
And I was like, as I picked it up and I left with it, I had this thing of, like, it's not yours to be taking home. You know, like, you should have just left it on the floor. Not that anyone was there, but I was like, oh, it's cool. And I just took it. And I came across it not that long ago. And when I picked it up and I held it, it was like, does this make sense now? You know, and then I was like, should I be making these bracelets and selling these bracelets? You know, because it's like, I felt like it was just right there in front of me. You know what I mean? And I don't know. To me, it makes sense. And to some people, they're like, Renee, that's nonsense. What are you talking about? But I don't care what other people think. It's what works with me, you know?
Of course.
Crazy.
So let me tell you about my day.
Please.
So I wake up this morning. I have a lot of shit to do. So I have to register both of my food trucks, get like the registration forms. I have to go to the DMV and do that. I have my first catering ever.
Today?
Yay. My first ever catering.
What do you mean your first ever? You used to cater like last year, no? You used to do other events?
I always did food truck events. This is my first time bringing trays of food to a place to feed people. So it's my first time catering, and I have that today. And then I have a food truck inspection that I have to do. Like, I've gotten events, like temporary events is where the truck gets inspected, and I've had those. But I've never had like an annual inspection where like other departments ask for like my annual license, and I don't know what I send them, but they accept it. So like, whatever, it's worked out. So this time I actually have one now to give to them. So I have to do that.
That's a lot right there itself.
So I wake up. First of all, I realize I don't have an insurance card for my vehicles. And I don't even know my insurance company. So I have to dig through my emails searching for what my insurance company is. I find the policy, right? It's through Plymouth Rock. I give Plymouth Rock a phone call. Plymouth Rock tells me, oh, you're trying to log in on the computer? No, this is a business account. Let me forward you to another fucking department. Get forwarded to another department. Oh, okay, let me give you to your agent. So apparently I have my own agent. So I get forwarded to this guy, and this guy's name's Eric. And he's like, hey, I'll get that out to you. I'm a really good insurance agent, but I'm not that good on computers, so please bear with me. And I'm like, all right, guy. So he's like, he'll send it to me in 15 minutes. So he sends it to me, and I head out to go to my trucks, right? Before I get to DMV, my trucks are on the way, which is a good thing because I didn't know my VIN number and my license number. So I had to stop by and check that out. So
both of the trucks, right?
Both of the trucks. So I go to the first one, take a picture of the license, take a picture of the VIN number, and then I go in to grab the registration just for no reason. Go to the second truck, which is unlocked. I've left that truck unlocked since October, November.
Oh, God.
Okay. I go in the glove box to grab my old registration, and there is a glove sitting there. A glove with a wad of cash in it. I grab this thing. Mind you, my bank account's overdrawn as we speak. Like I forgot that I had to go to the bank because my shit was overdrawn by $100. So I see this wad and I'm like, good, I'll have some, like, even if it's just singles, I'll have money to put into my account.
Yeah.
Would you believe there was over $1,000 in that wad of cash? In bonus money. I didn't even know I had that money.
That's awesome.
I just woke up this morning broke, not having anything.
Mm-hmm.
I go to my truck that's been unlocked since November. I go to the glove box, and I didn't even have to do that because my first truck, the registration wasn't expired, and I didn't realize that. So I was thinking, maybe I'll just go home. And I said, fuck it, I'm already here. Let me do it. Mm-hmm. So I go and get the other one, and so that's how my day started.
That's awesome.
So
just a side note though, you better start locking your food trucks now after everyone hears this because they're going to be checking. Just saying.
Exactly. They're just gonna go, where does he leave his cash? After that, I'm just like, what? How? What? It makes sense. I forgot. But like, thank you past me for being such a fucking idiot. Like, thank you so much for being so fucking dumb.
You gotta pat yourself on the back for that though, definitely.
Oh my God. So I'm driving to the motor MVC, right? And I get a call about this catering order. She told me it was gonna be for 20 people. Mm-hmm. I made enough food for 20 people. Me and Erin, we don't know how much food it takes to do that, but we feel like we did it, you know? So all the food was made the night before. She calls me and goes, this for the catering gig, and she goes, all right, the order's going to be 28. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I can feed 28. But I don't think much of it, because I know I have a ton of rice and I have a ton of vegetable. Mm-hmm. I have enough vegetables, but what happened was as I was heating them up, they shrank a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So it turned out to not be as much as I thought. So I get there and she's looking at the trays and you can tell like the vibe is already like, she's not.
Oh, the woman.
Yeah. So I bring it in and I'm opening the trays and she's just over my shoulder and she's just like, it's not a lot of food.
Oh no.
So from there, I'm like opening these trays and like I have this like energy of her just not being happy with this because like she's just shaking her head. She's like, I don't know how it's gonna feed that many people. I don't know how it's gonna. So like now I'm like shitting bricks.
But you shouldn't be shitting bricks. You told you initially 20 people.
So here's the thing, and here's what I've noticed, and here's how to fix it. So this company, they do like a meal split with their employees. So the way that works is they pay $6 and they get $10 worth of food. Okay. Which is a good thing. Yeah. So the cutoff for who wants lunch is that day at 10 a.m. So she gets a feel for it in an email the day before, but gets an actual number 10 a.m., which is 2 hours before this food has to be provided. So that's definitely not fair to the caterer or the vendor.
At all.
Because it stresses out every person involved. Because she gives this vendor a call within 2 hours. Even if they have their own restaurant, then they have to like ramp things up. More if they have a busy lunch.
Yeah. So
with me, I had to make it the day before because I'm a catering and I don't have access to my kitchen 24/7. So sorry, I can't do that. So I think the way to fix it is just get a hard cut off the night before. So this way the caterer knows how much food to make.
Of course.
And this way it's less stress on you because you don't have people coming that day, and you're not worrying about if the caterer bought enough food, because it just worked. You're trying to do this nice, great thing for your employees, and it's becoming a source of stress for this person involved. I can definitely tell.
Yeah. When it should just work efficiently for everybody.
So she was just like shaking her head and like trying to figure it out. And she's getting mad at me because I know this woman. The reason why she did this is because this woman had a daughter, and her daughter and my sister were on the same travel soccer team. So every holiday, every Memorial Day tournament, we were together, so we knew each other. So as it's happening, she's like, Vincent, like shaking her head at me like, what did you do? Like, you fucking, like, you child, you fucked up.
But it's not you fucking up.
That's how she felt. But the thing is that I've come to realize is this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Yeah. So it just happened on a bad time. And then I mentioned her again, like, this is my first time I've ever catered. She's like, you didn't tell me that. I said, I wasn't going to harp on it, but, like, you better believe I told you. I don't know how much you were trying to tell me or what you were trying to express while we met, but, like, I definitely told you this would be my first time. So she's like, why didn't you tell me it was your first time? I could have helped you. I could have given you some guidance. I'm like, what are you going to tell me? I have to feed 20 people. What are you going to tell me how many pieces of zucchini I have to cut? I have no idea. Neither do you.
You did not say that.
No, I should have. So basically, that happened, and it got, like, really, like she was so mad at me. Like, literally the same shit that me and you went through, it was that kind of feeling. It was like that, and I've been going through that shit with you. I went through it with Juan yesterday, fucking bad.
When did we go through it? We didn't go through it yesterday. We went through it the day before yesterday. So it was me, then it was Juan, and now it was her today. Okay, that's enough. Stop.
So when I saw Missy today, I was like, Missy, just fucking punch me. Just, you're next. I'm just, like, hitting that patch. And today was with my parents, too, a little bit.
No.
So I'm just hitting these patches with everyone, but, like, this is a cleansing fire.
Yeah.
It's, like, a cleansing, like...
constructive.
Because we obviously need to get through some shit in order to, like, get to where we are, which, back to the story, this guy... Where was I?
So about the woman, she was upset as you're opening the trays, and...
Yeah.
What ended up happening? I want to know.
So when I got there... I was thinking, this place is TerraCycle in Trenton, and it's... Have you heard of this company?
Never.
So, this company was started by one guy, right, who was in his college dorm, and he hated all the plastic that was being used. So he got, like 2-liter bottles, and he just put, like, a spray bottle in it, and, like, you put, like, little chemicals in that, and, like, that's, like, the spray bottle now. Mm-hmm. So it started off like that, and then he started, like, repurposing all kinds of, like, shit and recycling it. And then from there, he just, like, started, like, making... It's a recycling company now. Like, it's...
That's great.
There's this awesome, like, ramp of growth. You would love this picture, actually. Because it shows the growth for, like, the first 2 years for his company. As soon as you walk in. So it's, like, a super, like, funky, cool place. So it's all, like, recycled shit all everywhere.
Oh, that is so fun.
Those are all bottles as, like, a doorway.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so, like, instead of floating in the middle of the Pacific, they're just, like, in the office. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, so that's their growth.
How cool is that?
So if you can see, like,
PVC piping.
Yeah, the first 2 years, it's, like... Nothing. And then, what the fuck?
That is phenomenal.
How crazy is that?
But I love at the inside, it's all garbage in the inside.
Right? But, like, that's how things like this can ramp up.
But how gratifying. Like, and that's literally it. When you start, it is such shit. It's so hard. And then look.
Yeah, now he's just partnering with everyone and their mother, just doing shit.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so the thing is, they have, like, murals and all kinds of stuff all over the outside. So I brought my truck because I had to get it inspected in Lawrenceville later that day. So I figured I could just do one shot, all in the truck and whatever. I wanted to do a photo shoot in that area because they have just murals all over the building.
Uh-huh.
Look at where I just happened to park.
Wow. That is really cool.
So I figured...
And it's just very cohesive, right? Try vegan.
TerraCycle, yeah.
Seriously.
And
but it's all about bettering the world. That's crazy. I want to do a photo shoot. Boom, just park there and voila, photo shoot.
Literally got out of the building and I was like, damn, I wish I could take a picture. I looked at the wall around me. I was like, okay. So from there, I had to get my truck inspected. Mind you, I cleaned it the day before, but I didn't realize that, like, oh shit, I'm getting the health department to inspect my truck, kind of clean it. So I realized I was 10 minutes away from Trenton to get to Lawrenceville, right? And it was just up 206. So I'm like, I need to find somewhere to park so I can clean out the truck, because this thing is a fucking disaster. I haven't cleaned it since like EDC Orlando.
Oh,
because it still had the EDC Orlando like writing on the outside. I'm like, shit, and I'm looking at the floor and there's like just yellow on it from like pine sol that fell over and like dirt.
Well, that's convenient because all you gotta do is wet it and then clean the floor.
So I look around and like, so I had like an hour to do this, right? So I find a place to park. I park at the Lawrenceville Firehouse, right? Just by chance, Firehouse number 22. By the way.
Of course.
So this one's been following me around all day. All the numbers have been
really
following me
quickly.
around all day.
Frank's phone number has a lot of 2s in it. Okay, just wanted to make sure because every time I call him, I just think of you with all these freaking 2s.
Not only does Frank's number have a lot of 2s, all the other numbers are 6s and 9s. Cancer.
Of course. Okay, but go ahead. I'm
Bizarre,
sorry. I know.
Right? Like as soon as I realized that, I was like, because I saw the 222s at first, and I'm like, wait a minute, the rest is just like 69, 69.
Don't give away his phone number though. He'll kill us for that.
Yeah.
Firehouse 22.
I realized I'm in Lawrenceville. This kid Alex, I don't know if I've ever told you about him. He used to dress like me at ShopRite. They used to call him Little G's. He's a volunteer fireman at that firehouse that I just happened to. That's literally just where I parked.
I'm done.
I take a picture of it and send it to him, and he sends me an alert saying that there is a fire going on. So he's actually going to the house then, and the firehouse then anyway. So I realize I have 1 hour to clean this truck because I have to get it inspected. So I said, can I do it? Can I get this truck health department clean in 1 hour?
Of course you can.
I said, fuck yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? Like usually this shit takes me forever because I'm like listening to my music and changing the station or like moping around. But I said, fuck it. In an hour, I had that thing fucking spotless. I took everything out of every cabinet, scrubbed the cabinets, got all the dirt out of the corners, on my hands and knees, scrubbing the truck with a sponge. That's when Alex. So I turned my car on to like leave, turn the truck on to leave. That's when Alex pulls up. Hey man, what's going on? Yo, what's going on, Alex? He's like, well, the fire I came here for got canceled, so I figured I'd just come here and say hi. I'm like, perfect, because I've been wondering how I was going to get the generator up and down this whole time. Like, I know I can do it, but I hurt my hip, so I don't want to hurt my hip anymore.
No.
So I'm like, if you're not doing anything, do you want to, like, come and, like, just give me a hand lifting the generator?
That's awesome.
He's like, sure, let's go.
That's awesome. Pause really quickly. So what ended up happening at the lunch? Was there enough food for everyone for the 28 or no?
I didn't even finish that part. Oh,
no, you didn't.
Way to rein me back in.
Uh-huh.
So now that I mentioned the number 22, there's a guy collecting tickets and just check marking that everyone's getting their food or whatever.
Oh, stop.
So it looks like everything has been check marked, and she says she wants to be the last one to get her food. So I see all these check marks on this paper, and I see her getting her food, and I am so happy that I did it. I did it.
Of course you are.
I did it. Yay. She comes over to me and goes, there's still more people that need to get their food. There's still more people that need to get their food. And I'm like, but you said you're going to be last, and like it looks like all these checks. She's like, no, there's still more people that are coming that haven't gotten their food yet. And I'm like, are you sure? Sure enough, there were like 6 people that hadn't gotten their food.
Uh-huh.
So I was 6 people short.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks. That really sucks. So she was none too happy about that.
But hold on, they didn't come because you didn't have food, or they just didn't show?
Well, I'll tell you what, one woman definitely came up, and she walked up to the table. She goes, this is bullshit. There's no vegetables left. Give me back my ticket. Grabbed her ticket and went back to her fucking desk. So that happened.
It's a learning experience.
Right in front of me and right in front of her.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah. So that happened.
Oh, Lord.
So I thought I had to feed 20 people. So we tally them up, 22 people. So that was more than 20, but less than 28. So I fucked up, or did I? So it's like this weird thing where
you did great.
If I would have known better, I would have done better. But like I didn't know better. Like you changed it on me. You know. So how am I supposed to do that?
But my suggestion: try to think to make always more, have more. That's definitely going forward.
I mean, we made 2 mountains of rice, and there were like not even craters dented in the rice. All the veggies were gone. So that sucked. Yeah.
Learning experience, you know what I mean? And it was cool to be there. Look at everything else that happened. Okay, so going forward, you and Alex to the generator.
Yeah. So we drive over there. He helps me get the generator down. And then the health department, that woman from the health department comes out, and she gets on the truck. Like, she could have been a cyborg. The way she was just like, she didn't say hi. She didn't say, how are you? She's just looking at me like she's concerned for me. But she's telling me, like, you know, when people get sick and they touch the food, it can cause other people to get sick. So you have to make sure that people don't come to work when they're feeling sick, because they will make other people sick. And then she went on to say like another fact. And I'm like, okay, I know that. Yeah, thank you. And I don't know why she's doing this. I have no idea. Like, I haven't even... Like, you haven't said anything. You haven't asked me about my truck. You haven't asked me about what I do.
She was giving you facts.
Right away. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, no.
So eventually she says more of that stuff, but she starts like opening up the freezer as she's talking. And I'm like, okay. And then before you know it, she finally asks me questions and like whatever. But like she's opening cabinets and I'm noticing how clean the cabinets are. And I'm just like, this would have been so bad if I didn't spend that hour cleaning this truck. And thank God now, because the truck is clean, because I have something on Sunday at Monmouth University. I'm so busy.
That's good.
I need an assistant. I need someone.
I told you needed employees a year ago.
Okay, fair. So she makes sure the sink has hot water, and asks me, you know, how much bleach I use in the sink, and if I even use the sink, because like, what you need a 3-base sink in a food truck. And that makes no sense to me at all, because in a food truck, no one is washing, rinsing, and sanitizing. I promise you that. So they need to change the law on that bullshit. Allow us to have one big sink so we can actually use it, rather than 3 small sinks that we can't get our blenders in. It's so stupid, because we wash, rinse, and sanitize things back at our commissary when we're done at the festival. So that's something that needs to be changed, I say. So I'm good. And I ask her what's the difference between like, because I thought I was applying for just a daily festival kind of thing. And she said, no, this is an annual one. And like I said, I never had an annual one, so this really worked out. And then I headed home.
And then your parents today, you said.
Oh, that was nothing though. My parents was just like, they were not happy with me because like I left a few too many things on the counter when they got home from AC.
Oh.
So they're like, You're too old to be doing this. You're an adult. I shouldn't come home to a dirty house. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like trying to do so much out there. Sometimes I leave dishes in the sink. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to change the world. My bad.
Get off my back. I'm trying to change the world.
Does Mom listen to the podcast?
I would imagine not. I could imagine not. They listen to that first episode, and after that, it's like, okay, no.
Oh.
So it worked out. They shouldn't be listening to this stuff. They're gonna be like, what the fuck is my son? Who is this person?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh man. So remember on that phone call, I mentioned like how I was doing things with the yoga mat company.
Yeah.
So I have like 60 yards of cardboard, right? Not cardboard, corkboard.
Mm-hmm.
And the way this corkboard works is you roll it down on a floor before you put the floor down. So
just like linoleum.
In
between.
It helps dampen it. Between the floor and the hardwood you're putting in, you put this corkboard. So it rolls out. And I want to use that. But also I bought material from Walmart. that we could lay on top of it, and I got the adhesive to spray on it and put it all together.
Cool.
And this happened like literally like right after the last time we hung out and like discussed it a little bit. And it's just been sitting in my garage since then. And I've just been like, all right, I need to do it. I need to do it. I need to do it. I feel like you might appreciate doing that more, and it might be like a fun little project for you to just like cut it, spray it, and put some fucking. So.
Because I have other material here, the foam that I was working with as well. So cool. I bring the foam. That would be cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And see. So it's more cushion for like headstands and but that's awesome.
You could even double layer it.
I mean, that's the thing, right? That's why we do research and
R&D.
actively work on it.
This is R&D.
Yeah, and that's what I worked with. R&D, raw materials development. Exactly that. That's crazy. It's gonna be fun. Okay.
It's a nice little side project for when like we're not doing anything.
Yeah, because we're not doing anything ever. That would be cool to have you have to get yoga mats with that as well. Did you get the email I sent you about the mats? I sent you an email from the company that works with mats. He already has mats. He hates yoga mats himself.
Matt King?
Yeah, in the process of like getting things developed, okay.
Between the network of people we have, as soon as we figure out a yoga mat and then you have a studio,
I know.
Like, that's like it. Between you, Missy, and me and Erin.
Yo, me and Missy are gonna be a fucking force. I have to tell you, as soon as I met her energy was amazing. And I was a little bit reluctant to meet her. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. And I fucking love her. So, absolutely adore her. But I have to tell you, so at the end of it all, we were texting back and forth. And she was like, what's your sign? And I told her I'm Leo. And she told me hers. She was like, Virgo. And I was like, oh, female Virgos. There's always something there. And I absolutely did not feel that with her at all. She's the first female Virgo. I did not quickly identify she was a Virgo. But she's close to Libra, so I can understand that. I like Libras and I get along.
Yeah. No, I was about to say how, like, the only way the two of you might not have clicked is if you had different opinions on the spine.
Yeah.
Because she's very knowledgeable about it, and if you're incorrect, she'll let you know, as are you.
Yeah.
But if you guys are both understanding the same truth, you guys are going to love each other.
Yeah.
And that's what I knew would happen. Mm-hmm. Because you're so fucking smart with the shit, and she's so fucking smart with the shit. Mm-hmm. And, like, you two are just like, all right.
It was so cool. And she loved the space. And I tried to, like, give the negative thing. I was like, other people were in there and they hated it because of the floor. And she was down. She was so cute. She, like, when I was there the last time, I was, like, on the floor doing poses and stuff. I felt fine. And then she was so cute. She was like, I got her hands in. It was adorable. And Corky was looking at her and he's like, I see. It's like, I get it. You did it last time. It was just so funny. But she gave the approval. And I think it's fine. And it's amazing that we both have that mindset. It's yoga. You can't control the things that are on the outside, but you can control what's going on the inside, and you just appreciate the things around you. Good, bad, equal, whatever. Mm-hmm. And she had that same mindset, and I was like, it's going to fucking work.
Of course
I'm so thrilled. Like, okay, so that's the shoe rack. That's the coat rack. Like, Vince, I've been, that bookshelf right there, I have been buying things for a yoga studio for the past couple of years. That board right there, that natural piece of board, it goes all the way down to the floor. It was from a headboard from my friend's bed. It broke. I was like, oh my God, can I have that? Like, we can use it as like a community board, wow. Pin up events and stuff. But there's not much going into a studio. I already have mind body system. You know what I mean? And that's what I wanted.
That's all it takes is that online presence.
That's it.
You get that, and then people show up.
Mm-hmm. And she knows people. She knows the area. Yeah. I have a following. You know what I mean?
You guys are both already there.
Like, and I got a vision when I was there meeting her that we met up somewhere and we all were at a park, but you have the food trucks parked out, and like we did a session of like half floor, half trap. But that
we already have our own shit. We could put together our own festival.
We need to. Point. We really should.
Oh my God.
We should really sit down and talk about that. Honestly. Because there's a place actually in Cranford. It's a German pavilion, and they have ways that I can hang up a trapeze.
Damn.
And it's huge. The lady said you can probably get 50 people there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We have to make that happen.
Imagine a bunch of different like vegan food vendors, and then a bunch of different yoga classes. Like you have one of yours, you have an aerial, you have a acro, you have all that shit.
Yeah. Crazy. And then, oh my God. Oh, Vince, there's so much awesomeness going on. And this is the thing that gets me. All of it is exploding in April. Mind you, I quit my job in April. And mind you, my thumb is about to grow in April. craziest fucking thing. You know, and I feel really bad because everyone's different, right? And some people are here, some people are here. Some people are in the head, some people are in the heart. And a friend of mine, I called his father yesterday, and his dad gives us a construction, and I need another contractor to go look at the space to make sure we can set up the D-rings because my current contractor wants triple the price for this job. He wants $2,400 for the job that he's charged $600 for and then charged $750 for. Now he wants $2,400. I said, this is absurd. Hell no. I'm not letting a studio owner pay you a couple $1,000s for a job that you did for $700. It makes no sense. So I called my friend's father and I said, hey, this is the thing, blah, blah, blah. Will you be able to? He's like, yeah, I'll check it out. Should be fine. And as we were on the phone, there was a moment of silence. He's like, oh, my son's doing this. Someone from a magazine wants to interview him. What are you doing? Like, I looked at my phone. I'm like, the fuck? What does that matter? Like,
what does it mean? What does he mean by that?
Like, because I think his son was by him. This is the impression that I got. Like, his son was by him and was like, oh, tell Renee that a magazine contacted me to get an interview. It was just very bizarre because we're in the middle of talking about him going to check out a space to see if we can get the D-rings mounted up. And then he just stopped for a minute to talk about his son and was like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm calling you to set up a studio. But so about this Instagram bullshit, and people want to be Instagram famous and this, someone very close to me was like cutting himself because he wasn't getting the online presence and stuff that he wanted to get via Instagram. Like he felt like lacking. And I'm like, yo, you cannot try to fucking rush the process and try to cut yourself because of it. But like Instagram, and I made a video about this today, a vlog, I posted it up, about like, you know, it's a positive sense or a negative sense. Like, what are you watching? What are you seeing? Like, if there's other photographers that you're seeing and that have a massive following and it makes you feel negative, unfollow them. Don't look at that. You know what I mean? But there's like people think they're gonna be like my one friend. He's like has this perception he's gonna be Instagram model. Like, okay, that's great, but Instagram doesn't have a modeling agency. Like, it works through someone else, like through a magazine or whatever, and through your hard work. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like you shouldn't be posting pictures of your ass, like full picture of just your ass. Like, you shouldn't be doing that because I feel like in a sense that gives you like a bad perception.
Well, it gives you a
like, where's your value?
It gives you a narcissistic rush of, yay, someone likes me.
Yeah.
But it's so fleeting.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense to do.
Yeah.
But so some people, they feel it's all they have.
But like, it's like, you're worth so much more than your ass on Instagram.
Yeah. Like,
you're putting a picture of your ass and everyone's double tapping your ass. Like, like, you know, it's heartbreaking and I mean, and that was just very weird. I'm like, okay, but what about the studio? You know? And then in a sense of like the friend close to me about, you know, cutting himself, I'm like, why? Like, you can't do that. You cannot consider killing yourself because your following is not as big as another photographer.
Yeah, comparison is like the cause of heartbreak.
Yeah, what was it? Comparison is the thief of joy, right?
Yeah. Because like I've never like, you've seen me getting into businesses. Mm-hmm. I've never even watched anything that I've done. Like Frank is like Frank showed up at Studio B the other day when we were cooking and he's like, this kid, he's never listened to a podcast and he's breaking history with this podcast. Uh-huh. He's like, I don't understand this kid. Because like I don't even consider anybody else a competition. Mm-hmm. I just don't. Like it would take away from me doing it. Yeah. Because like I'd see someone else doing it and I'd get discouraged and I wouldn't want to try. Yeah. So like I don't even see anyone when I'm doing something. It's just it aggravates me because I'm like, why am I not there yet? Mm-hmm. So me personally, I can't do it. It's difficult for me to do research, market research. Yeah. Because like I'm just doing it.
Mm-hmm. Like that conversation we had the other day. Was that last week, I think? I'm like, oh my God, but like, I want to be in a magazine already. And you're like, I know, me too. And like, you know, I appreciate so much that we're at very like similar points with our businesses and there's so much like relation. Like that was constructive and we're on the same page. We're like, it's just not that time for us yet.
It's so funny because like I'm thinking about like how I have these outlets like this podcast. Mm-hmm. I can say sponsored by Try Vegan, sponsored by Forever Farms. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, seriously.
And I was also thinking about how much I love this exchange, right? I enjoy doing this. You don't have to pay me anything. If you listen to it, that's great. And I really appreciate you listening to it. But, like, you don't owe me anything. Yeah. You know, like, I just hope you enjoy it. And, like,
I learned something.
Yeah. This past week, I've gotten 2 comments on Catching Up with Vince.
Hey.
So I talk about a lot. I talk about
Everything.
so much, everything.
I know.
From everywhere. And so much of it. The one comment I got was from, I should say her name.
But I mean, that's the great thing about expressing yourself in another way, podcasts, vlogs, whichever, because you can connect with people throughout the world and help educate them. You know what I mean? So it's a massive blessing.
All right, so one person named Jack says he fucking loves this show. I fucking love this show. I never know who he's going to have on or what the fuck they're going to talk about, but it's fantastic.
Such a wild card.
That's true. And then, so Shelly is who commented on this one. Of all the things I say, or I talk about, she goes, LOL, love this crazy show. It's full of non sequiturs, but at the same time, a lot of wise stuff. Okay, so I'm 31, and to answer your question, I sometimes check out guys' crotches. Totally. I think most women do. Keep up the great podcast. I love it. Literally staring at dudes' crotches is the one comment I've gotten from the show.
It's only growth from there. It's only growth from there. That's so funny.
All the things I give you. Want to talk about dicks?
Seriously. Sex sells, right? Expect more crotch comments. Oh, God. That's so funny, though. So no more. So what's going on forward? What's next for Try Vegan?
World domination, really. It's really what it boils down to.
That's exciting. So when are you getting out of the country?
I have no plans, but I know I know that I don't know when this is going to happen, but I know I'm just about ready for it. You know, it's like, all right, now's your time.
Yeah.
You're up at bat.
Good.
You know, it's your turn. Like, here's the thing. Even Jesus said, like, the people who come after me will do better work.
Say that one more time. Say it one more time. I needed to hear that.
Even Jesus said the people who come after me will do better work than I, because we're a culmination of all the people that came before us.
Yes.
100 years ago, someone had to dedicate their life to create the light bulb. Now we're just illuminated always.
Yeah.
Like, all these people put us in this position. The people that did every little piece, the person that helped invent the screen worked with the person that helped invent the processor that makes your phone work. And we've all just like exponentially grown as a species. And now we're here, and if we think we're smart, let's see how fucking smart we are. Let's see if we can take these people's minds and go further with it. Because think about who we listen to, you know, the Tony Robbinses of the world, Alan Watt, Terrence McKenna, and then on top of that, we also love knowledge. So we have the ability to bridge this gap of knowledge, information, and in my case, comedy.
Yeah.
And it's like just this fucking amazing mess of a podcast.
Yeah.
But not only a podcast, I get to grow as a human being for being able to put all this information together. And now you guys get my homework for free.
Yeah.
You know, all this time, instead of watching sports or fucking whatever, I've dedicated my time to like learning more shit. And now that I know all this shit, here, listen up. Here's some of it. And on top of that, everyone that I interact with is just as fucking smart as me for a different reason. So like we all just have our own input, and like this show just becomes like, what the fuck?
It evolves just like we do as a species.
I haven't even had any guests on yet.
No.
Imagine when I have like someone who like is a celebrity or some shit, and like I'm talking to him.
Yeah. Even that doctor, you know, and I feel like regardless of who you have on the show, you have to appreciate them. You have to appreciate their time, you know, and it's such a blessing for me to have people on my show, because it's like they mean a lot to me. You know what I mean? The business owner in Clifton, that was the first time I listened to my own episode of my podcast, and it's just like, it's such a good feeling. It's so different to hear it as you record it, but then when you listen to it, when you play back, it's like, oh my God, I said that, or oh my God, like that's, you learn other things from it as well.
Definitely.
You know, so.
So you don't edit your podcasts?
I send it to Frank. I send it to Frank. Frank works his magic.
It takes me, I edit the fuck out of my podcast.
Do you?
How do you think it sounds so good? It can't naturally sound that good.
Yeah.
It takes me like, I've gotten to the point where it takes me like 2 hours to do every hour.
Really?
That's it. Like, the art isn't making it look like it's not fucking difficult.
Yeah.
That's the art. The art is making it look easy.
Yeah.
And that's what I strive to show people. Like, I strive to show people that it's easy. Sure, it takes work, but it's easy. You know, like, it can be the season. You can do it.
Yeah. Frank is so funny because I had no desire to start a podcast. Absolutely not. I would have ideas for podcasts and I would like give them to one of my friends because she was like, oh, I want to start a podcast. And like, oh, you should do this. You should interview this woman, that woman, like a business owner, support women empowerment kind of thing. And she just never did anything with it. You know, and then I was reading Gary Vee's Crushing It book and we got to the podcast section and my fucking mind went crazy with ideas to fucking talk about. Like, and I never really write in books because I have like OCD and I like to keep things proper, so I like write notes. My brain was so crazy. I was writing all around the book, highlighting this and that. Like, I still have like another like 7 ideas I have to make podcasts about and like send them over. But so it was me coming home from Budapest, like on the plane home. And then when I think I met with Frank, he was like, by the way, you're starting a podcast. And I was like, okay, let's do it. You know, like I was kind of skeptical. And then as I was interviewing some people and then putting my heart into it, I'm like, no, it is not being called Health on a Shelf. Like it has to be called Renee Roman because I'm literally everywhere. You know what I mean? I go places, do things, connect with people all the time. When I was just in Philly, we brought the trapeze with us and I hung it up at a bus stop. And as I'm hanging there, my friend's taking pictures of me on my bullshit phone. A photographer walks past. Not only does this photographer walk past us, he had his massive professional camera in his hand. Mm-hmm. Not only did he have that, he already had a light already on the camera. Divine alignment, oh my God. Mm-hmm. But you know what I mean? Like, and then I said to him as we were walking to this next place to go shoot, I said, yo, I would love to have you on my podcast. Like how that just happened. Like there's more to this than us just taking pictures right now. I said, you know, if there's like a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks or something, let's go in real quick and record. Do you know I said that right when we were standing in front of a Dunkin' Donuts? And I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings. I knew that there was a Starbucks that we walked past before. And, like, obviously Dunkin' Donuts are everywhere. But, like, we were sitting right in front of it. He was like, yeah, let's go. And then he stopped. And I turned around and looked at him. I'm like, where? He's like, right. I was like, oh, damn. Like, I was just so in the moment, you know. But if I didn't have my podcast, I just would have took pictures. I wouldn't have got to know him. I wouldn't have the opportunity to get to know his story and stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that's the coolest thing about life. And you know, we're putting ourselves out there in another channel, but we're doing it with other people as well. And I don't think anything can get better than that. So this podcast is quite exciting, and I had absolutely no desire to do it. And I noticed through this process of the vlogging and the podcasting that any resistance I had is where you should go for. Like the resistance of me not wanting to go to this one yoga studio, I went and I had a phenomenal class. And not only that, the owner's contacting me about putting it in her studio. And I never thought in a million years she would consider me because these instructors are like top notch. And as I met with her, she was like, awesome. She was like, yo, your energy is what I look for. She was like, I wish you had proper certification so like we can throw you in here and blah, blah. Like it was amazing. Yeah. You know, so I don't know, that was really great. That was gratifying. But the resistance of like, I don't like the color red. And I was just started buying red not that long ago and I look good in the color red and I fucking love the color red. It's so strong. And like when I went to the Veteran Gala last November, I couldn't decide between one dress. So I purchased these 2 dresses and they both look so great on. They're like made for my body. And I only wore the one. And turns out there's a gala this weekend for the CrossFit location that I connected with. And they invited me to their gala. Like I've only been there for about 2 months. And they love me so much so that they invited me to their gala with the whole community. I'm like, wow, like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like that's life, connecting with people and identifying that you like them and you appreciate them and their family and their business that they created. And they appreciate you in return. Like, damn, like that feels so good. So in my head, I'm just imagining him and I, because I have him on the podcast, taking a picture tomorrow. Because I always try to do 3, right? When my one episode comes out, I do 3 pictures of that person relating to the episode. So I already see the picture that we're taking tomorrow at the gala and, you know, all dressed up and everything. And I'm going to post it up on the IG. And I'm like so thrilled for it. I can't wait for it. But it's like, I just embraced any resistance. Like, I didn't think I could do CrossFit after my injury. Hell no. But I'm doing CrossFit after this injury and I still have no pain. I mean, I have, busted hands, but I am not in pain. Like, yeah, there's stinging sensation in my hands, but I'm still climbing ropes like it was yesterday.
I've noticed when I feel that, like when I don't want to do something, usually on the other side of that, there's definitely something there.
Yeah.
So like if I notice, I feel like, fuck, I really don't want to do this right now. It gives me more motivation to do it.
Yeah.
Because when I get there, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, exactly like you meet this photographer. Like, by the way, whatever you need, here it is.
Yeah.
The sign to the universe.
What? How? Wait a minute.